first athlete to get us underway on this third day of speed skating competition. Well, that didn't look like the quickest of starts for the athlete from the Republic of Korea. How much can she make up as she works her way around the corner into the finishing straight? Just holding her position for a moment on that bend. And she crosses the line as she relaxes, a 20.14. Lee made up for a little bit of hesitation on the start. Head down. It's about driving. It's the position at the same time, maintaining that aerodynamic position whilst producing absolutely tremendous. Well, it's the times we're going to be keeping an eye on. 20.164, the opener from Lee Yerim. Zhao King, been part of the national team since 2015. Really had to fight to get this selection at the World Games. Now on her opposite diagonal, Ivonne Noche Collado. We get that great split screen view. Obviously the athletes can't see each other and they are purely focusing on their own performance. Look at that arm drive coming from Noche Collado. Formidable sprinter, already a gold in the 100 meters on the road. You can see just how fast she was. She was a significant distance ahead of Zhao. Now that was smooth. She stays so low. The power, the arm drive. Just compare that to Zhao. Not quite as low in that power off at the start. Well, almost a second difference between those two athletes. The track here. Now that area on the inside has been used for the inline hockey, and it's going to be repurposed again in a couple of days' time. But right now we focus on our next two athletes, Jasmine Foster and Fran VANHOUTTE. It is Fran VANHOUTTE for Belgium on the left. Jasmine Foster, the athlete, the sole athlete from the USA. Most of the nations have managed to enter 4 athletes. The USA, Jasmine Foster, traveling alone out to these World Games. Her second appearance at a World Games, having had the opportunity to represent her nation at the home games in Birmingham 3 years ago. But this woman is the one to watch. Already a medal from these games. 2 titles at the recent European Championships. You can see the difference in style between the two athletes. And that lunge for the line, it's the front part of the skate, the first wheel.
In position.
Luisa Gonzalez, the Spanish athlete.
Set.
Has raced on the ice, but she's obviously not wanting to compete today, so all eyes will be on Dalia Sobranis. Buoyed on, no doubt, from her bronze medal in the 100 meters on the road. Incredible performance just yesterday. She's got to pick herself up and refocus for this 200 meters. What can she produce? We'll wait for the time to be confirmed as she just relaxes after that absolute all-out effort. Will it be another time under 20 seconds? That seems to be a time that where you need to be if you're going to making it into that final. We've seen 2 athletes over 20. 3 so far have clocked a sub 20. Where is the Guatemalan going to sit in that? Asian Games yet to feature on the podium at this competition. And I've said the same for Asha VARANI, the Italian. She has a World Championship gold. She has a silver from the World Games in Birmingham 3 years ago. She's yet to feature on the podium here. Could this be the time for the Italian to shine? We're racing on opposite sides, but remember, it's the clock that we are watching on the middle of the screen here. That's what we need to focus on. That is what counts in this race. Well, I think that looks like it was incredibly fast by both athletes. The graphic we've got in the middle there, and that confirms, wow, that really was the quickest, both the quickest times so far today. Significantly under 20 seconds, and that is going to put them right up there.
Number 9, results 19.173. Number 62, results 19.159.
Well, we have the standings so far. So NOCHEZ Gallardo, void of her medal from yesterday, tops the table at the moment. Fran VANHOUTTE already with a medal from this Games. And then VARANI sitting in third. But these are not the athletes get to race again in the final. And then that is the final time that will count. So this is almost, for the really top athletes, a chance to really suss out this track. Their very first race on this track here at the World Games. Catalina LORCA of Chile was on the left as we have that split screen to start. Maria ARIAS, Ecuadorian athlete. We'll see a shot of in just a second as we focus on LORCA. Driving, just going a little wide there, trying to get it back onto the inner line in time for the finish. And this is the nervous moment as we pause to see just where the clock was stopped. Ecuador, one of the really dominant nations in the sport of speed skating, sitting pretty close behind Colombia. South America just absolutely live for this sport.
Number 20, results 19.168.
Well, we just have a little idea. No one else under 19 since those earlier times were clocked. ARIAS with a 19.168 is looking like she is safe, as we just have 4 athletes left to race, left to put a time down. And we'll see if they can knock any of those slower times off the standings. I think all eyes are going to be on the woman in yellow from Colombia, Maria Tims. She is a many-time world champion and already has a gold in the one-lap event. That was on the road, and you can see comfortably winning that heat, but it's not about position. She'll just be wanting to do enough at this stage and using this as a bit of a warm-up just to really suss out the track and get her mind in the game before the finals later on in this session.
Number 15, result 19.099. Number 59.
Well, that is the third quickest time of the day for Maria Tims. And we'll just see her pushing Asha VARANI down 1 position, but VARANI is going to be safe. We only have 2 athletes left to go. So those in the top 6 are safe, whatever times we see posted by this final heat. That said, we do have two incredibly quick athletes. Almost saving the best to last here.
Position. Set.
Haila Brunet and Anna Šimek. Now we saw Anna Šimek yesterday just decide to not race in the 100-meter sprint. But is she going to be putting it down in this or saving herself for the 500 later on? We'll see when the times come in. And again, it does look like Šimek is playing the wise game. But Haila Brunet, silver in the 100. She will be focusing on the really short sprints. And this, the shortest of them that we see on the indoor track. Later on today. Well, here we have the confirmation. It is the top 12, so all of the athletes on the page here. And it's Fran VANHOUTTE and Ivonne NOCHEZ who've really put the mark down, going sub 19 seconds. Zhao King in the second heat early on. She has safely made it through. And Jasmine Foster for USA will be making it into the final as well. She'll be delighted with that result, just sneaking in ahead of Lee Yarim, our first starter, and we had Šimek and Gonzalez just choosing not to race on this occasion. Well, those are the finishing times. Just confirmation that these athletes will be racing again. So just to remind you of the format, it is the qualification rounds we've just seen, all 15 athletes starting. Only 12 of those will make it into the final, and again they'll race in pairs, and then the time will count. These times are erased. They'll mean nothing other than the starting order, so we'll see our fastest two qualifiers going in that final heat, and all eyes will be on them. But some of these athletes might have been just getting into their stride. We'll expect to see the times get significantly faster as we move into the final.